Jones's repeated jabs have become a common theme, with many taking note of his confident yet contentious remarks. Aspinall has seemingly taken the bait, fueling the rivalry. His comments have sparked debate among fans, with some questioning his sportsmanship. Ariel Helwani criticized Jon Jones's behavior, stating it's tarnishing his legacy. Helwani expressed frustration over Jones's repeated trash talk, particularly towards Tom Aspinall. He believes Jones's actions are unbecoming of a champion, suggesting his legacy is being compromised by his antics. Helwani's comments reflect a broader sentiment that Jones's behavior is crossing a line, potentially overshadowing his achievements in the sport. Jones's actions are under scrutiny.
Jon thinks he's cooking with all of these right here. He thinks he's having like the greatest run on Twitter. What's really happening is he's cooking his own legacy right now. He's making a mockery of his legacy. Show me a great champion. Show me a great, from Jordan to Tom Brady to Ali to Lemieux to Gretzky. Show me someone who acted like this in their final chapter. Show me. Who refused to pay it forward. We'll continue.
Chael Sonnen and others have called for the UFC to strip Jon Jones of his light heavyweight title due to his inactivity and controversies. Sonnen suggested that if the UFC threatens to strip Jones, he would likely vacate the title voluntarily.
I believe on Jon Jones, number 2 here, which is the UFC could strip him. I believe on stripping Jon Jones that Jon would rather vacate. I believe that the UFC used this word. If they said, okay, Jon, but let us explain to you what this means. You saying that you won't do the fight means we have still got to get on with the belt. And you're holding it, which means we got to take the belt. And if they took the belt, that would instantly anoint Tom Aspinall to undisputed champion. Tom would not have to do his next fight, in which the one I believe he's going to do against Ciryl Gane. He would not have to do that. The first bell would not have to ring. They have made athletes world champion before with phone calls. I'll go back to Daniel Cormier, but Daniel Cormier lost a world championship. He was on a vacation.
This would allow Jones to maintain control and potentially pursue other opportunities. Sonnen's comments highlight the frustration many feel towards Jones's situation, questioning his commitment to the sport and the championship.
Completely depressed. He gets a call on vacation that he is now the undisputed champion. Jon had failed a drug test. Daniel got the belt back without ever throwing a punch. Daniel was plenty happy with that. He just wanted to be champion. Aspinall's in the same boat. So many people say, well, he's not going to want to win it that way. That's all in your mind. Well, I know you didn't want it to happen this way, but that's all in your mind. Erin Blanchfield does not care that Macy Barber didn't get in the ring. She just wanted to move past her. I mean, just so you know, that whole, well, it's not how I wanted it, and it's not how I envisioned it, that's in a reporter's mind. The athlete does not care.
And above all, Tom Aspinall also expressed his frustration in a recent interview with Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen, stating that Jon Jones is no longer the champion. Aspinall asserted that he is the rightful champion and urged the UFC to either have Jones vacate the title or strip him. Aspinall believes that without resolution, the division will remain stagnant.
Me too, actually. Me too, but the guy is living his best life. He's had a fantastic career, we all know. We know Jon's a religious man, so I want to say God bless him moving forward in what he does with his life and his career. And, you know, we move on. We move on. I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm ready to take on all comers, get this division moving again. Us guys have been waiting around too long, you know, the guys.
His words illustrate there is impatience by fighters and fans to know exactly where they stand with the titles.
The contenders are getting sick of it. Everybody's getting sick of it. Even the fans are getting sick of this stuff. So Jon's retired and it's time that we move on.
Meanwhile, tensions continue to rise as Michael Bisping adds fuel to the fire by speculating on potential matchups for Tom Aspinall. His ongoing discussions around possible opponents and scenarios have stirred even more excitement and uncertainty within the MMA community. While nothing is confirmed, the speculation alone has kept fans talking, debating, and anticipating what's next. This ongoing chatter, mixed with the unresolved title situation, only intensifies the spotlight on Aspinall and the division's future direction.
And that Tom's talking about is John Jones stepping away, Cyril Gane stepping in, Tom versus Cyril for the undisputed belt. Because right now in the heavyweight division, I can't think of anyone else more deserving. Yeah, okay, Volkov, he might have something to say about that.
This is #1 bullshit.
But in terms of a fan favourite kind of mouth-watering matchup, Cyril Gane, Tom Aspinall, two gigantic guys, two big dudes, two agile guys, two very, very quick guys. That's a good one. That's a matchup that I would like to see. Now, John Jones went on to say that he came, he saw, he conquered. He actually put it down in Latin, which of course he has done. He's done that for many, many years, but the next guy, okay? And I don't get it. I don't understand it. In fact, this is all starting to get a little bit awkward. For John Jones, for the fans, for commentators like myself, like DC and Chael Sonnen, they're talking about it. John Jones is talking shit. When you're one of the biggest stars in the organization, when you're the GOAT.
With Aspinall asserting himself as the rightful champion, these hypothetical matchups are gaining attention. Fans are eagerly anticipating Aspinall's next move and potential showdowns, wondering who he'll face next and how he'll perform. The speculation is building momentum.
When you're the guy that's gone through generations of champions and then you're being unclear with what your intentions are, people are going to talk about it. The sport has risen to a whole new level. It just continues to get bigger and bigger. So there's going to be podcasts, there's going to be analysts, there's going to be people on ESPN and all the broadcast networks all over the world that speculate and give commentary on your choices. That's not necessarily a personal insult. However, as a fighter, myself, a former fighter,
what further complicated this situation was that John Jones had accepted an offer from Francis Ngannou, who had been determined to secure a matchup with Jones. Ngannou's persistence and interest in facing Jones have been well documented. This development adds complexity to Jones's current situation, potentially altering his plans and creating new possibilities for a high-profile bout. Fans are eagerly anticipating the outcome, with many speculating about the potential fight's implications.
We got some respect for each other. We still have that rivalry. He think he can kick my ass, and I think I'll get kick his ass. How can we find out? I tell him to let his daddy know, so they can give him a little bit of a freedom to figure that out.
How bad do you want to fight that guy after standing there
That
next
has
to him?
always been the #1 fight that I've been asking for the last 3 years. Whether it was before Stipe or after Stipe or after Gane, I've been asking for John Jones. I mean, how about it is that I've been asking for 3 years.
And by hearing of this news, the PFL boss offered John Jones a lucrative deal to fight in the PFL with substantial funding. The proposal could entice Jones to switch organizations, potentially changing the division's dynamics. With PFL backing, Jones might find new opportunities and financial incentives. The offer's details and Jones's response will be crucial in determining his future in professional fighting. This move could significantly impact Jones's career trajectory. Ariel Helwani expressed frustrations over the situation with John Jones, criticizing Jones's treatment of the UFC while also questioning the organization's handling of him. Helwani's comments suggest a nuanced view, acknowledging both Jones's accomplishments and his controversies, while also highlighting the UFC's role in enabling his behavior. Helwani's analysis underscores the complexity of the situation.
They got him that money. They finally got him that money. And he said yes. And then he said no. And since he said no, they've been trying to figure out a way to get him to do this fight. One last fight. He ain't budging. And he's been starting to give us some sort of indication that he is not interested. But right before 316, he gave us many indications. And when I say not interested, I don't mean not interested in fighting. I mean not interested in fighting Tom Aspinall specifically. Let's go through the tweets and then let's get to Dana White, all right? So he talks so much about Tom. And on the one hand, that could give you hope that he's building something, but I don't think he is. My boy's not as special as his fan base thinks he is.
Helwani's comments suggest a nuanced view, acknowledging both Jones's accomplishments and his controversies, while also highlighting the UFC's role in enabling his behavior. Helwani's analysis underscores the complexity of the situation.
Twice by different people. Cool. Here today, gone tomorrow. He likes to say this about the latest person that people think will be a good challenger for him because that's what we want. We want good challengers for champions. We continue. Let's keep going. Let's rifle through these. Someone says he was actually tapped once, you dumb F. once, twice, to me, it really makes no difference. He's loving this. We keep going. Someone says you're scared. It really has nothing to do with fear. The question I ask my close friends and family is how much higher can a person like me climbing this sport? The goal is for athletes to build a brand, then take that brand and become so much more than an athlete. He's giving you hints. He's done. He doesn't want to do this anymore. I spoke to the UFC a long time ago about what my future plans were. I haven't really worked out since my last fight in New York. Honestly, I believe it's been in the UFC's best interest to keep presenting me as the company's champion, not Tom. This idea of the TV deal has been brought up. This fight is pre-TV deal. New TV deal comes into play. So it's not really in their best interest. But anyway, I've been playing the role of company man by doing nothing at all. John, company man. Maybe the greatest contradiction of all time. The UFC has done more for Jon Jones than any fighter on the roster.
With all this ongoing drama and speculations, Tom Aspinall appears ready to move forward, with Chael Sonnen reporting that Aspinall is prepared to deliver a significant fight update. This coming announcement might explain Aspinall's intentions and possibly restructure the light heavyweight division. It awaits eagerly by fans, with rumors circulating on possible opponents and bouts. Aspinall's willingness to make new revelation indicates that he's ready to make a significant career move, with the update bound to attract a lot of attention and conversation.
We're told by Tom Aspinall that he has a fight, that he can't say who it is, but he can say who it's not, and that it's not Jon Jones. Now, this isn't an official announcement made by the UFC, and generally if the UFC got to the spot with Jon Jones, the spot, we're in the office, they know we're not going to make the fight, we're not even trying anymore. They move on, and in this case, they would go to Surreal. And that's supposed to be like the big dark secret, that if it's not Jones versus Tom, then it's Tom versus who? The answer is Surreal. But whether that's supposed to remain a secret or not, Tom is revealing for us that that's the step that we're at. He didn't say the name Surreal, but he said we're moving on absence of Jones.
However, it seems as if the UFC don't want to let this fight go, as during a recent press conference, tensions ran high as Dana White expressed frustrations over Jon calling out Francis Ngannou. The situation escalated when others chimed in, defending or criticizing Jon's actions. The debate became heated, with some participants feeling Jon's comments were unjustified, while others saw them as necessary critiques. The exchange highlighted underlying issues and power dynamics within the group, sparking a wider discussion about communication and accountability. The incident revealed deeper conflicts and alliances.
He said he's ready to vacate the belt.
He said he doesn't care if you strip it, but he would vacate it.
Fucking crazy. Yeah, I've been busy. I haven't been keeping up with the gossip. He comes back. He's either back today or came back yesterday or whenever he's in Thailand. So he's home. We'll be home tonight. And Tuesday, we'll figure this out.
Dana White had always preferred a Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall fight.
I understand if you can't answer this question, but damn it, I'm going to ask anyway. Is there a fight that Dana White wants to see in the UFC above all else in 2025?
So I get asked this every year. And this year, it would be Aspinall Jones. That's the biggest fight in heavyweight history. And at the end of the day, what my job is to give the fans what they want, and that's what the fans.
And in a recent press conference, he further reaffirmed his position, expressing distaste for a Jon Jones versus Francis Ngannou fight. This stance underscores White's strategic vision for the organization and his priorities for the division. The development highlights the ongoing dynamics between key figures in the UFC, with implications for future matchups and the organization's overall direction.
It was kind of crazy how much interest Jon showed in the Francis Ngannou fight. Like, there was some tweets going back and forth. What would happen if he came to you and says, like, I'll fight, but I won't fight Aspinall, I would fight Ngannou? Would you even be interested in that or no?
I don't have Ngannou under contract, and Aspinall's the guy.
Right. If you were put in the position, would you maybe try to get Ngannou back under contract or no?
Probably not.
In the end, he made a stern statement, essentially telling Jon Jones to retire if he chooses. White's comments suggest frustration with Jones's recent actions, implying that if Jones can't meet expectations, he's free to step away. This public jab indicates growing tension between White and Jones. White's words may signal a shift in their relationship, or a push for Jones to commit fully. The statement has sparked debate among fans and fighters.
Aspinall's the guy. He's the guy. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see how this plays. Listen, if the guy wants to retire and doesn't want to fight, nothing you do. I didn't want Habib to retire. I thought DC should have stayed in it longer. So it's none of my business. I'll do what I can to make the fight if we can. If he's talking that crazy. I didn't realize that.
However, MMA guru and Mighty Mouse are skeptical of Dana White's claims, believing the recent developments are part of a marketing strategy to hype up a potential Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones fight. They think White's comments are designed to tease fans and build anticipation for the matchup, rather than a genuine expression of his preferences.
And he's a genius, or he's the biggest fucking troll of all time, right?
Yeah.
Like, one, I think they know something that's going on. The fight is probably done, and they're probably using it as leverage in order to sign the new TV deal, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand why don't they just say that, but for some reason, like, there's a part of me that's like, the fight's gonna happen. Like, I feel like Tom Aspinall, they know. I feel like Jon, they know. Dana knows. I feel like everybody knows, but Jon is just like, sign the petition, land, drinking coconuts, da-da-da-da. And I feel like the UFC is enabling him to, like,
annoy everyone,
which is, I mean,
which is a good promo strategy. I've never wanted Jones to lose more than now, so he's actually riled up the whole audience, and in a way, this might be the best promotion of a fight we've ever seen the UFC do before. If they have orchestrated this to be like, just strict, like, because when you don't know you want something until you don't get it.
Yep.
Yep. And this is one of those things where if they would have just dished out Aspinall versus Jones, and it would have already happened last year at MSG, it would have been like, it sold 500k pay-per-view buyers. It was a big fight.
According to this perspective, the maneuvering around Jones's opponents is a clever ploy to keep fans engaged and invested in the story unfolding around Jones and Aspinall. This viewpoint suggests that the narrative is being carefully crafted to maximize interest and excitement for the potential bout, with White's comments serving as a catalyst to drive the hype. By casting doubt on White's intentions, MMA guru and Mighty Mouse offer an alternative perspective on the situation.
It's a good fight, whoever won. But now it's to the point where people are, I mean, if nearly 200,000 people are willing to sign an imaginary petition to strip Jon Jones, I mean, the amount of people that would be willing to part with some of their money to watch a pay-per-view, this is setting up to be one of the biggest fights. The only thing I would say is I used to think that maybe they were using it as leverage for the new platform deal that they're doing, which is a very smart move. But if I was doing that and I was the UFC and Jones was tweeting the stuff that he's doing and going around like that, I'd be like, you're done. We got a platform deal on the line and you're doing all of this. Like, we're supposed to be teasing the idea of the fight happening, and Jones is out there tweeting, I'm done. It's over. I had a good run. So if they were planning that.
Dana White's frustrations are loud, but some believe they're calculated, just fuel to build a fire that ends with Jones versus Aspinall in the octagon. On one side, we see a champion dodging and delaying. On the other hand, a potential marketing masterclass from the UFC teasing fans into a frenzy. Whether it's genuine conflict or carefully crafted chaos, one thing's for sure: the world is watching. And with every call out, comment, and cryptic post, the stakes only get higher. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Jones is avoiding Aspinall, or is this all smoke before the fireworks? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more sharp breakdowns, fighter feuds, and UFC power plays. Until next time, stay sharp, fight fans.